We're all using less cash these days, especially since COVID's changed how we pay for everything from groceries to parking. But what happens when you want to tip a car guard or buy from a street vendor who doesn't have a card machine or banking app? Well, that's where Street Wallet comes in. The Cape Town based fintech startup has just raised 6.2 million Rand to scale its solution for South Africa's informal economy. And joining me in the BizNews studio is entrepreneur Kostas Scholiadis, the founder of Street Wallet. Hi, Kostas. So nice to see you.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So, what was that moment when you say, This is something I need to fix?
It was an idea that sat for a little while. Never was bold enough to get it going, and COVID exacerbated the no cash economy, where people no longer carry cash as much as they did before. And I got tired of saying, sorry, I don't have cash," when I actually wanted to pay the person. So I don't think it's a revolutionary idea. I think the whole country's had the idea, and I just decided to act on it.
So, how does it actually work?
It's quite simple. So what we do is we provide traders with one of these QR codes, and the QR code is essentially a web link that takes the payer to a website, and it shows Linda's profile, and it'll say pay with Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, SnapScan, Zapper, Scan to Pay. So we house all the options that are already very trustworthy, and you'll make a payment using your card payment. We're adding a few options in the future. What happens is the person gets an SMS, so they don't need data. They don't need an expensive hardware. They
Mm.
don't need to lug a device around. And at the end of the day, we consolidate all that money, and the next day we pay out a Standard Bank instant money voucher. So they don't need a bank account. They get an SMS, which they can go redeem from 8 nationwide retailers.
And did you find informal traders, they don't have bank accounts? So, really works for them.
There are a few that do. It's just the inactivity of it and all the hurdles that come with it. So there's many that don't, and those that do don't necessarily prefer to use them and send money in there. And if you go to your traditional payment solutions, they take about 2 working days to settle funds. What we do is we take on that risk and settle the next day in cash.
So, how widespread has the adoption been?
Um, we've grown now. We're in our scale phase at the moment, so we've gotten a good footprint in Cape Town in the kind of the tourist sectors. We've just partnered and going to announce the partnership very soon with a Durban-based client that is going to give us a big footprint in the car guard sector in Durban. And we're working with Plush Car Wash, which is positioned in Joburg and Durban, and we've got a few other clients that are giving us position. So right now, our main areas are Cape Town, Joburg. We're adding to Durban, and PE is another area we're focusing on at the moment too.
So, what has been the biggest challenge in scaling this?
I think the biggest challenge now that we've solved the tech solution is getting access to this market. So your clientele or not, a LinkedIn user you can reach out to, whether it's a business owner or a street trader that you're talking to, they're not all, sitting on LinkedIn every day. They're not necessarily, it's not, we're a young company, so we're not blasting advertising everywhere, although there's a few campaigns coming. So the biggest challenge is finding the right people, working with the right partners that gives us access to market.
And you've raised, we said in the beginning, 6.2 million Rand. What are you going to do with that? Is that for scaling, adding feature, or building partnerships?
So our product is probably very good in that it solves the problem and can grow as is. We're adding always, but we're spending a bit more on marketing. We're partnering with some sales people and getting access to market through sales representatives, and also rolling out the execution of a partnership with a business takes a bit of brand awareness and a rollout. So that's the one area of growth, and then also being a financial solution. We've I've brought in a really key partner in Stephen Brito. He's my partner now, and he's a finance person, and this was a very important part to building our compliance and our finance infrastructure, our with Standard Bank. And yeah, being a fintech, you need to have that in order. So we're working on those areas or those departments primarily at the moment.
Well, you pitched at, was it Africa Arena in London recently? So, what was that about? Was it to try to get investors or to scale?
Interestingly, we did that pitch having closed our funding round of 6.2 million. We weren't urgently trying to take money for this round, but we were meeting new investors, and we're already planning for our series rounds. So our next step is to meet our investor targets, but also be prepared for a good funding round with a series round, so we can raise a lot more money. Um, yeah, and that will let us build a bigger, stronger team that is able to do a lot more.
So, do you see this model working in other countries, African countries as well?
We see it as an emerging market product. So, you know, it's not so easy to just drop in a new region, but what you do is you work with the partners that you have. So, Standard Bank's in 17 different countries in Africa. So that's a good start to get us into through the door. Every country has its own compliance. So when you make a move, you got to be sure of that kind of investment. Um, but we can also do a soft introduction to new markets through remittance, um, through data side of our business, which has less compliance. So what's really cool with this QR code is that when someone pays, there's also data collection, and we don't actually need to do a transaction. We can also do data collection for businesses, and we're building that side of the business too. So that allows us to look at new markets. Realistically, first Africa. There is the South American market and probably the Southeast Asian market, but one step at a time, I think.
And there's also this whole issue of the dignity of formal, informal workers. So, has this empowered them? Do they want to engage, with you to adopt your solution?
Yes, I think what we've seen is that the other products in the market, as amazing as they are and as good as they are, better than us in certain areas, what they don't seem to address is that not everyone uses those products. So you might use a different product than me. You might not have a credit card, but you have SnapScan. The next one is a tourist who doesn't have an e-wallet method. So what we've been able to do is consolidate all the options into one, and that puts a very relevant solution for the use case we're tackling. And it it we've seen a lot of uptake from merchants who really need a way to earn more money. So although we take a fee out of it, it's money they wouldn't have earned. So definitely a need for the product, and we're now looking to just get brand awareness to build trust with the payer side as well as the merchant side.
So, what has the response been from the informal workers, the traders?
We've had a lot of, the biggest distrust comes at the first point of introduction, and as they use it, there's the sticking. They're very sticky. So once they trust the product, we've got, for example, the Cape Town, Clifton traders and the car guards there. They were some of our first guys that we got on, and they're very sticky. Every season, they come and make sure that they've got everything is working. They reach out to our team and confirm that everything's working, and it kind of is self-sustaining. And you know, then when you have a handful that trust the product, it expands to the greater region. It's going into new provinces and cities where we have to kind of nurse and massage the product into the market. Um, so yes, it's now about scaling and efficient scaling as we grow.
And you said there are competitors. So, what makes you better than your competitors?
I don't like talking badly about competitors, but I can say that we're very good at providing what is really needed. We're not pushing products into the market. We're not saying, here's a product that you need to download, Linda. We're saying, how can we avoid you downloading something so that you can do a transaction and not have to download because you've got app fatigue? So um, we're very good at stripping everything as much as possible so that everyone doesn't have to do too much with us. And I think we've done it the best out of everyone in the market.
So, what's your long term vision? What would you like to achieve? What's your dream?
The dream, to list this company on a stock exchange would be really awesome, or to exit in a bigger bigger market where someone decides to take our database and put it in-house, that is a possibility. But for the love of it as a founder, I would love to help as many people as I can. And I think that alone drives you even when the product is still small. It allows you to kind of wake up in the morning and go, this has got reason to push today. So yeah, I'd love to help millions of people in the world with our product.
And what's your background?
My background is quite diverse. I've studied a business degree. I went into football coaching and I actually built a sports tech platform called Sportnet when I was working in football in South Africa. In And that got me to learn a bit about how the kind of young footballer who needs opportunity and has limited money thinks about tech. And I was always a tech person. I then saw the transferable knowledge during COVID to get into Street Wallet and solve that problem. So I've kind of got a sports slash tech background, and I put them all together and found an opportunity to get into Street Wallet.
And what do you say to South Africans? Because I know, I fly in and out of the country, and I always want to give money. And you're right, I don't carry cash. I don't think I've carried cash since COVID. No way. So I do not how to do it. So do you tell me I can trust it? Because sometimes I think, does that mean I've got to give more? Because it's like almost like a 10% tip after you've eaten. So what do you say to people who might be a little bit reluctant using this these well, Street Wallet or any of the other cards that you can just tap?
Linda, you can pay R5 on our system, and you can pay 10, you can pay R100. We don't force anyone. We are conscious that people all want to pay differently. We have seen people are willing to give more through a card. What I've noticed is the biggest pleasant surprise in our journey has been how many people have reached out. People in positions of uh, uh, fortunate positions to be able to help people, um, who are willing to come on board and for free just help onboard 10 people. And that's been a really cool experience. What we realized is people that do want to help, they just want to help the right people in a trustworthy way. And I think that's what we've tried to do. And in our dashboard, when you scan a QR code, it'll show the payment options. And just below it says, hire me. So we've got a bit of an ESG side to it. It shows the phone number, the skill sets of the person, and a bit of a story, where they're from, what they do. And that just connects people. It provides a stepping stone for job opportunities. And it's going to be potentially something we will get into in the future, where we start giving these guys job opportunities through our platform.
Yeah, I just thought actually, because sometimes when I meet somebody, because I'm a journalist, I'm really curious. I always wonder, what's your backstory? Why you're here? Why you're doing this? So, if you give a bit of a profile, that sounds good.
That's exactly it. And I think I don't personally want to build a business that is just moving the needle 1% for a big corporate. I want to make a big impact for a human being. And this is what really drives what we're doing at Street Wallet. It's in the name, Street Wallet. You're helping the street traders, you're helping people with a bit more meaning. And rather than just trying to find a way to tap and go, how can you do more? How can you dignify? How can you collect data and improve both the business and the human's life? And we're trying our best to keep the scale as well as the human side of it alive.
Kostas Scholiadis, thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.